Hawks fans, we've been waiting, but now the time is here. The Atlanta Hawks could be on the verge of something special. They have to stay healthy. They have made offseason moves, and now it is time to get into something that we are not necessarily used to as Hawks fans. And I'm going to get right into it because we got to go over this schedule, and I want to just highlight just a couple of games in particular. But before I do that, welcome to Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tipmore. Take off your shoes, leave on your socks, and we're going to get into this schedule release. But again, not going to be talking about the entire schedule because that'll be a long show. But at the same time, I'm going to highlight a certain part of the schedule and talk about it with you guys and just, get your thoughts, of course. So for those who are subscribed to the Hawks Digest, thank you so much for always choosing us and making us one of your first listens when you need it. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to Hawks Digest and become a part of the Hawks Digest family. But I want to get right into this. Put it on the big screen for you guys. I'm highlighting the first 10 games of the Atlanta Hawks season. Starting October 22nd, we have the Toronto Raptors coming in. Last time we played the Toronto Raptors, actually I believe it was their opening night in Toronto, was 2014, quite some time ago. But the Toronto Raptors, they did make some moves. They got Colin Murray Boyles in the draft, also Elijah Martin. Also went out and got Brandon Ingram, so they're expecting him to come back and be healthy. 30-52 on their season last season, 110.9 points per game. Now, I'm assuming that starting unit is going to be anywhere from still Jakob Poeltl, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, probably R.J. Barrett, even though I know they were looking to trade him possibly, or at least the rumors were out there. Also, Emmanuel Quickly. I'm assuming he would be the PG. Now, Hawks fans, we lost to this team back-to-back last year after beating them at the end of 2024, in December 2024. So we have to get our lick back against these guys. And honestly, I'm happy to see them. I'm happy to, that we can start off the season and hopefully start the season strong. I believe that the Atlanta Hawks need to start the season off strong. I'm not saying anything about like being 6-4 necessarily. Like, I would love to have 7 wins and beyond. And I'm getting into this. So for the Atlanta Hawks, the Toronto Raptors at home, that has to be a must win. We have to set the tone for the season because right after that, we're going on the road. And as you see, we have home, road to start the season. So conditioning and also just readiness has to be there. It's going to be early in the season. We have to still get that camaraderie and that chemistry going. I understand that. And really, I'm going to be honest with you. Give the Hawks about 20 games before you really judge them. But again, I'm highlighting this first 10 because I want to get off to a fast start. No slow starts for the Atlanta Hawks. Again, Orlando Magic. We know plenty about them. They're one of the reasons why we ended up in the play-in. Another reason why we ended up having to play the Miami Heat in the play-in in the final elimination game was because of the Orlando Magic. They have that big lineup. They have Wendell Carter Jr., ATL native, and also Pablo Banchero. They just extended him. Franz Wagner, they extended him. They also not extended, but they also got Desmond Bane over too in a trade. I'm assuming Anthony Black will probably be thrown into the starting lineup. I'm assuming. They went 500 last year at 41-41, averaging 105.4 points per game. But their game is defense. We have a measuring stick starting out, having 2 back-to-back Eastern Conference rivals coming at us. And we have to make sure that we have our ducks in a row so we can be able to take care and start off strong. Then you got the measuring stick of all measuring sticks to start your season in Game 3. Saturday game. Saturday night. October 25th. OKC is in the building. They went and got Thomas Sorber in the draft, and also they extended Chet, Jalen, and SGA. So they're going all in. Of course, nearly 70 games last year, 68 and 14, 120 points, 20.5 points per game. They set records last year when it comes just to the margin of how they were beating people. I believe they set a margin for that, and they also got Neat Clifford too. So they did some extending and everything. They're kind of running it back, going all in, signing their guys and believing in their guys. And at the end of the day, they won a championship. Do what you want, but measuring stick to start the season right there. So we have to see exactly where we're going to be. Of course, they have all the chemistry and the camaraderie with each other, but we're trying to gain some good measuring stick there. Moving on to Chicago. Chicago has been a thorn in our side off and on here and there. I believe we split the season series with them last year as well. We didn't have a lot of matchups. So they got Noah Asung and Rocco Zaccharie. So my thing is also with that, Giddey, Cody, Brazilis. You got Vujicic, who they were trying to trade, by the way. And also Kevin Huerter, I'm assuming, would be in there since they traded away Lonzo Ball. 117.8 points per game last year, 39 and 43. Because remember, they were trying to kind of nip at our heels a little bit toward the end of the season last year. Again, off and on, been a thorn in our side, but I believe this year we can take care of the Chicago Bulls, and we need to. Now, I'm not calling all these, I'm not calling anything or saying that we're going to beat anybody. I'm saying we need to take care of business against these guys. I'm not doing any predictions about wins and losses. I'm just saying we have this schedule, and we have this golden opportunity to possibly capitalize on some teams that's going to be weak, because the East is going to be weaker than what it has been, I believe, in the years past. But you're still going to have those teams that were down at the bottom that's going to raise itself up. It's always like a team that you be like, man, they weren't here last year or the year before that, and now here they are, trying to compete. So, again, you got Chicago there. I believe we can take care of them. Brooklyn, this team right here, even though we're on the road in Brooklyn, just like how we would be in Chicago, because we have a four-game road swing right there to start the season. And my goodness, going from Chicago, you're going to Brooklyn, then you're going back down to Indiana, then slide up, which is not far, to Cleveland and everything. So, in the Brooklyn Nets, they used all their draft picks. They traded for Highsmith from Miami. They also traded for Michael Porter Jr. and traded Cam Johnson away to these Nuggets and to the Denver Nuggets. So 26 and 56, 105 points per game. They did get Demon. They did get Danny Wolf. And like I said, they used all their draft picks. So that's going to be a young team trying to figure some things out. A lot of young talent on there. Not a whole lot of experience. They do have D'Lo, I believe, over there, and still Cam Thomas. And, of course, still Nick Claxton. So they still have some veterans to work with. We'll see what happens with any of those guys by the trade deadline. But that's a game that I feel like you got to have. You got to have, because I believe we dropped one to Brooklyn last year that we shouldn't have had. And then it's getting interesting, because now we have an NBA Cup game. And that is against the Indiana Pacers on the road. Now, of course, there will be no Tyrese Halliburton. They lost him and they lost Miles Turner. So we'll see exactly what they want to do with that. They did pick up James Wiseman. I don't think that's the replacement, the right replacement for Miles Turner. But at the same time, what can you do? And 117.4 points per game, 50 and 32 the Indiana Pacers were. But, of course, they still got Pascal Siakam. Of course, they still got Nesmith, who is a good three-point shooter, good shooter, period. Still got Mathurin, still got Shepherd. I'm trying to figure out if they're going to still bring Mathurin off the bench, or will he start now or over Shepherd. Also, Nembhard. Is he going to be the primary point guard? They have some things they have to figure out. Hopefully, we can catch those guys as well. Of course, it's an NBA Cup game, and we need to get back to the NBA Cup. we have some unfinished business with there because we almost got to the finals last year of that. And we are also in Group A. For those who don't know who are in Group A, it is our Atlanta Hawks. It is the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Indiana Pacers, the Toronto Raptors, and also the Washington Wizards. So yes, you have that going on. But back to this again, NBA Cup, NBA Cup matchup. We're going to have to catch these guys early, man. You can't lose to these guys. I know it's Halloween. We don't need any kind of creepy, weirdo stuff happening that day. I think they still have some camaraderie, but I still believe with our new talent, all the moves that we've made on paper, I still like the Atlanta Hawks' chances in Indiana to take down these guys in this Cup matchup. Moving on to Cleveland. Hey, man, you know what's going on there. Larry Nance Jr. is up there. Sam Merrill's up there. They got Lonzo Ball, Tyrese Proctor in the second round, I believe. And 121 points, almost 122 points, 121.9. 64 and 18 were the Cleveland Cavaliers. Most of their squad is running back Garland, Mitchell, Spruce, Mobley, Jared Allen. They also have DeAndre Hunter there, of course, you know that. But we had these guys' number last year too. I know mostly when we were healthy. But when we went down, we did kind of struggle with them when we have Jalen Johnson, a few other guys, still trying to figure some things out after the trade deadline. So you had all that going on. But we did beat, when we were fully healthy at that time and had like our main guys, we took care of Cleveland. So I'm looking for us again. We need to have that one again, at least on this road swing right there early. If you can get 3 out of 4, that you really can call that successful, seriously. Then you have back-to-back matchups with teams that you started off the season with. But the only thing about it is the Magic matchup, that's going to be on NBC Peacock. You see, that's going to be on something different, a different platform. So for those who have NBC or those who have Peacock, you can be able to watch that game there. That's just what happens with these TV deals when people are coming together and formulating a network. But hey, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, we get the streams. That's another reason why like people's contracts and stuff go up. But I digress. Again, Orlando and you got Toronto. Now that Toronto matchup is also going to be an NBA Cup matchup. So that's your second NBA Cup matchup within your first 10 games. And then, of course, you're going against somebody that really right now has not only did they beat you back-to-back last season, they're winning the all-time series right now, talking about the Toronto Raptors against the Atlanta Hawks, 55-54. So we have to get our lick back. Let's beat them back-to-back times. Get another cup win as well to advance and enhance our chances of possibly getting to that cup finals as well. And of course, again, not overlooking Orlando. I'm just saying, like I just said, an NBA Peacock, you already know what to expect with Orlando. Moving on to the last matchup on here, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now they picked up a late second rounder. They got DeAndre Ayton. They re-signed Jackson Hayes. Also 50 and 32, 113.4 points per game. Of course, they got Luka Doncic in that splash trade when they traded Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. And now, of course, they got Austin Reeves over there still. Luka Doncic, Rui Hachimura, also LBJ, LeBron James, also DeAndre Ayton in that starting lineup. So, again, that's another measuring stick regardless, because you got arguably one of the greatest players that's ever done it. And LeBron James, he's going to be out there. Hey, he's still looking good even at age 40, still working out, still keeping his body together. So he's going to come out there and be looking to dominate. You got Ayton. Let's see what they get out of him. Let's see what DeAndre Ayton shows up. Luka. Let's see how he is as far as cardio conditioning. Is he's looking like the Luka Doncic of old that people are used to? And, of course, you got Austin Reeves out there, too. Somebody who's underrated when, of course, there's a lot of things going on. I feel like it frees him up to do his thing as well. So we'll see exactly what happens, but I believe the Atlanta Hawks need to start the first 10 games strong. That's my point of this whole video, outlining these first 10 games, outlining some of the starting lineups, outlining some of the moves that was made in the offseason for some of these teams. None of these teams I feel like made better moves than the Atlanta Hawks ultimately, but the Atlanta Hawks still have to go out there and show what they can do on paper, then take it off paper and let it translate onto the court. So that's my thoughts about that, guys. The Atlanta Hawks have to start off this season strong for many reasons. Trae Young's contract, the camaraderie and chemistry of the offense and defense, and just an overall team just over. And then also we have to stay healthy more than anything. I want health more than wins and losses, because if we stay healthy, we're going to get wins. So, guys, let me know what you thought, your thoughts in the comments about the first 10 games, first 20 games, 15, however many games you're thinking. Hey, at the end of the day, you know I'll reply back to you. You all talk, I'll talk back. But until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you. Let's go Hawks. Let's start off the season strong. We are 2 months away from this thing. It's almost here. And I'll holler.